Welcome to Gentle Night Reads. Today we have a happy bedtime story for you to help fall asleep. Enjoy Too Late for Love, a heartbreaking romantic bedtime story. Love was never something Adrian took seriously. To him, it was just a game, something people wrote about in books, something fleeting, something that never truly lasted. He had seen what love could do. He had seen it destroy his parents, leaving behind nothing but anger, regret, and empty promises. So Adrian never committed, never cared too much, never let anyone too close. And yet there was one person who had always been there. Elena. She had been his best friend since childhood. The girl who laughed at his terrible jokes, who defended him when teachers scolded him, who never left his side no matter how reckless or indifferent he was. She understood him, but he never understood her heart. It happened on an ordinary evening under the soft glow of streetlights. Elena, fidgeting nervously, finally spoke the words she had kept hidden for years. "Adrian, I love you." Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled. She had waited so long, hoping that one day he would see her not just as a friend, but as the one meant for him. Adrian stared at her, stunned. And then, he laughed softly, shaking his head. "Elena, no, we're better off as friends." The words cut through the night like a cold wind. She forced a smile as if she had expected it. But her eyes told a different story. Adrian didn't think much of it. He thought she would move on just like every other girl. But Elena wasn't every other girl. Days passed, then weeks, and for the first time in years, Elena wasn't by his side. No morning texts, no random calls. No late-night talks about nothing and everything. It was as if a part of his world had gone quiet. At first he told himself it was for the best. He didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want to be responsible for breaking something that had always been perfect between them. But then, her absence started to hurt. He missed the way she teased him. The way she rolled her eyes when he made a dumb joke. The way she always believed in him even when he didn't believe in himself. For the first time in his life, Adrian felt empty. And then he saw her, but she wasn't alone. A new boy had entered the picture. Ethan. He was kind. He was charming. And from the way he looked at Elena, it was obvious. He was in love with her. But Elena? She wasn't interested. Adrian saw it in her eyes. She smiled at Ethan, she talked to him, but she was never truly there. Because her heart had always belonged to someone else. And that someone was him. Adrian wanted to believe it wasn't too late. That if he just told her the truth, that he had been an idiot, that he had pushed her away out of fear, that he loved her too, everything would be okay. One evening, under the same streetlights where she had once confessed to him, Adrian found her. She was sitting on a bench, lost in thought, looking up at the stars. "Elena," he whispered. She turned, surprised. It had been weeks since they had spoken. He took a deep breath. This was his moment. "I was wrong," he said, his voice breaking. "I thought I didn't need love, that I didn't need anyone. But the truth is, I need you." Her lips parted slightly as if she had waited her whole life to hear those words. But then her eyes softened with sadness. "Adrian, why now?" His heart sank. "Because I finally understand," he said. "I love you, Elena." Silence stretched between them. And then she smiled. Not the joyful, bright smile he had always known, but a sad, tired one. "I wish you had told me sooner," she whispered. "But I can't keep waiting for you to love me, Adrian. I don't want to spend my life chasing after someone who only realizes my worth when I'm gone." His chest ached. This couldn't be happening. "I'll change," he said desperately. "Just give me one chance." She reached for his hand just for a moment. A brief, fleeting moment. "You will always be my best friend," she said softly. "But I can't go through this again." And then she walked away, this time for good. Adrian watched as she disappeared into the night, his heart breaking in a way he never thought possible. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. He had always been the one to walk away, the one who never cared too much, the one who didn't believe in love. And now he had finally felt love, only to lose it forever. The end.